Alright, are we good? Hang on, let me make a quick announcement here. Letting people know that we're alive again. That would be good. Let's try that one more time. Alright. Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. And, oh, need to do the little tag there. That should be good. Okay. Thank you so much for your patience, guys. I really appreciate your patience. I don't know what happened. Goodness. All right. Are we here? Are we working? DAHO happened. Hello, everybody. Welcome back in. Curse of DAHO. Your Honor, my client DAHO is innocent in all charges and shall not be thrown into the torment nexus for 500 years. However, we've entered an insanity plea for her. Oh, an insanity plea? Okay, so in that case, she'll be with Lillian for the time being then, yes? We'll see her with Lillian? Probably into the deeper burrows than newbie frequents. I suggest giving DAHO to Kaku. DAHO S3, sniff sniff the internet cable. Oh gosh. Oh, alright, because there's CN stream, I will pin this again just in case. Thank you, Zengetsu, I appreciate it. Oh. Alright, how is I have completely lost track of all my thoughts. Oh. We don't want to give Kaku indigestion. Read it again. Hello, Stargazers. I hope you have a good day and evening and enjoy today's stream, except DAHO! My gosh. Oh. Kago's too quick of a death for DAHO. Oh my god. Oh. I want to down. Oh, shoot. Sorry. Are we good? Sorry about that. Thank you, Kalemex. I appreciate that. Okay, my mic is really dumb, and I've contacted Elgato about this many times. It doesn't keep its settings, so every single time I restart things, it always goes to full volume, and I apologize for that. I hope no one's ears just got blown out. It won't stay at the volume that it's normally at, so it just distorts my voice. There's times where I did the daily polls without realizing it was doing that, like without having changed it, and I had to then go into DaVinci for those specific polls and like adjust and split and turn down audio and re-export the video specifically because of it. So thank you for letting me know. Elgato, if your mic is made by cats, of course it would behave. No, internet is not bad at all, actually. This has, like, internet has been completely solid. It quite literally is just, like, DAHO comes in, says that she's gonna curse everything, everything gets cursed, and we lose everything. We do not have bad internet here, actually. Very, very good reception on the mountains, believe it or not. But yeah, very unexpected. Don't care, Curse of Ra. Oh. Reception so good it received DAHO's curse with no delay. Yeah, what the heck? Why was there no warm-up or anything? Just immediate. The very last thing recorded on the stream was you saying the timing was really funny. Amazing. Incredible. Oh. The only thing that gets on the nerves of the likes of Cache Mifune. We're going to thank people and go into brainstorming. Thank you! Yes! I was trying to- oh my gosh. I was trying to thank Artemis and KLMX because they were very kind and very generous and supported, greatly to Throne, which... That's where I said the timing was funny. I said the timing was funny because I hadn't told anybody about it. I didn't tell people that I had, like, adjusted the throne. And I was not expecting anything to get funded on it. So thank you, thank you very, very much again, Artemis, KLMX, and Anonymous, who I would thank if I didn't know that you were anonymous. I am thanking you in spirit. If you know that you're anonymous, then it will go out to you. Oh, goodness. She's a good villain. Instead of doing the big monologue before casting, she says that when she ends. Oh my god. Freaking DAHO using, like, instant Zoltrak or something here. Oh. Out of context. Oh, alright. Goodness. Free run reference, blessed by this, blessed be this stream. We love free run here. I actually owe a free run piece. Very, very late free run piece, but I do still owe it. I haven't forgotten about it. Thing is, I like doing a lot of projects, coming up with a lot of project ideas, and I will do them at some point, just not in the immediate time when they are thought up. If that makes sense. It doesn't mean that I never do them. It just means that there's other things that end up piling and overlapping. Because I have crow brain. I'm just a silly girl. I don't know about that. Procrastination. It's not progressive. Your Honor, my client has changed her plea to silly girl. That is not a valid case. Oh. I remember you were saying it is tough to get work done on stream. Understandable. I can see that now. Yeah. Silly girls get double torment next. Goodness. So, okay, it's so funny, we're developing, like, the deep lore of the Stargazer community in ways I would not have expected. We have Curse of Raoul, we have DAHO, I don't even know how to describe that, but this is definitely deep lore now. And, only, Chaos Incarnate. Riri is going to find DAHO quite amusing someday. If they ever get introduced, that will be the day when basically we have, like, I don't know, atoms combining in bad ways. Deep lore, you say? Justice for Rainbow Trout. Oh my gosh. Oh, we have so much, it's crazy, right? We have so many, like, we have so many inside jokes, it's crazy. Yeah, universe would indeed explode. Someday I need to just make a bunch of silly little exclamation mark things. Someday. Why do I keep saying someday? I keep adding projects as we speak, it's terrible. See, this is a problem. Just have, like, some silly gif. Saying rate citizenship may not be canon, but that only empowers me. After all, it is denying canon because it's from Twitch, not what a downtrodden should expect from Starlight Police. The heck? Goodness. I count it as a blessing to be boring. I could not handle the pile up. We have like the beings of chaos here, and then we have like the cool, chill Stargazers that are just like watching the chaos unfold, but staying out of it. So nobody said anything about a mistrial, so it's upheld. Like run out the back of the courtroom. I don't think you can run out the back of the courtroom. I'm pretty sure Vesa and Kaku are gonna have that locked down. Opposites attract. There you go. There you go. Oh. Goodness. You know, it's funny. Undertopia is playing in the background, and I've been playing this for, like, months and months, and didn't realize until after doing, Ideal City that there was actually lyrics to this normally. And love Pajumka. Very, very sweet. Very sweet wolf. So, okay. Brainstorming. We should move the thing. We should move the thing. Yes, that makes sense. Can you tell that I'm not quite there today? Alright. We'll jump over here. There we go. And the main thing is, like, I have so many... Today? Yes, today. I have so many directions of ideas, and it's very hard for me to, like, narrow down. So I was thinking maybe today we could attempt to narrow down. We were stun-locked by generosity earlier? Yeah, a little bit. Just a tiny little bit. Just a little. Yes. Very much so. Very much so. I can't get my words out properly today in many, many cases. Aww. Ross Suzerain adding something to your throne list? Wait, how does that even work? I think what we need to do is I need to make, like, a list of, like, the have-to-dos, and then the clay desires, and then, like, where else we want to go, and then what we're doing, and then stuff like that. And basically, as like, regular community members that are not just there for Arknights gameplay stuff, I would like to hear a little bit of your input, and then maybe some of those things will get made. So, like, trying to think. So I know that, Hoshi is gonna be a thing that I want to do, but it might need a little bit of practice first. Aegis, what are you doing? The heck? What? What? Wait, what? Aegis! What are you doing? What are you doing? I thought what? 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 Why? Haven't you done enough today? Haven't you done it? I mean, like, I'm extremely grateful, but also why? Oh my gosh. Oh, now you've done enough? Oh my gosh. My face hurts. Oh my gosh, I feel like I need to do more for you guys, and that's why I'm trying to brainstorm to see what I can do for you guys, because I feel like I don't reciprocate enough for you. Ah! We love all you do? Shush, what am I even doing? I feel like I don't do enough. Yes, and you know it. No, I don't. You're existing. That's not enough. Oh. I just love your vibe. That's all, you guys. You're doing too much? How am I doing too much? You're funny and knowledgeable and a great content creator. How? I mean, thank you, but like, bunnies confuse me. Simply stop feeling that way, you overthinking dummy. Your peak content? How though? How is this peak content? All we had was DAHO killing the internet. Oh my gosh. I don't know, like, can I improve? Can I do more thing? We can't get that anywhere else. Oh. Lily Fox, you streamed before DAHO Bomb. It was fun seeing DAHO delete the internet. DAHO's a little scary powerful. I feel like multiple governments might want to be aware. More gamba? Tuesday. Tuesday, I promise, will be big gamba day. Tuesday, I promise you. Every now and then, bunnies stop being chaos incarnate to make sure Fox loves herself enough and— Are we power scaling DAHO now? I mean, I feel like most— I feel like it is worth being aware that DAHO is a scary anomaly to be reckoned with. I think, like, there's only a few other creatures that can keep DAHO in her place. And it's probably, like, Kaku, Lillian, probably Newbie, and Vesa, depending on the direction. Because Vesa is more like sort of the authority of the punishments. You can keep DAHO in your— Really? I'm not sure about that. That was like a devil's die? That thing rolls above 3? Things just happen. DAHO nerfs me all the time? What do you mean? But you can— well, no. You guys have a strange, like, death revival relation. I don't know. Like, it's like a triangle, right? Like, Lillian, like, puts DAHO in mortal danger. Newbie revives DAHO. DAHO continues. Lillian— it's like a weird triangle. Goodness. I'm surprised that nobody on Twitch has yelled at me yet for having Arknights as the stream category and not having drawn an operator yet. This is just rock, paper, scissors, but stupid. Pokemon typings, there you go. Alright. Death versus undeath versus DAHO. DAHO's like between death. DAHO's just sort of like hanging out in limbo most of the time. Where Hoshi? I have, okay, I have a tiny bit of, words. Again, words. Thank you for some— Prism, you're in the way! Ah! Orlok thank you for subscribing on YouTube. Thank you. Oh my god, the second half of your name is Pio. Oh my gosh. Hello, Orpeo. How are you? I hope you're having a good day today. You're describing the cycle of samsara where DAHO is not so enlightened enough and has mortal attachments will never achieve nirvana. Oh no. Ryan, hello, welcome in. I love that Kurama emote, by the way. I love that Kurama emote, makes me really happy. RPO actually hopped in the Discord first somehow, unless that notification was super delayed? Oh, I don't know, I just heard it now, but hello, welcome in, enjoy the chaos. Okay, so the thing with Hoshi is, okay, interesting sculpture learning moment that I can talk about. Because that'll be a fun, you know what, that's a cool thing I can do. I can illustrate storytime stuff. So basically, like, I know how to do sculpture. I have been doing sculpture for many years, but I'm kind of out of practice. I know how it works, but not, just sometimes not the really weirdly annoying technical stuff. So I was trying to work on the sculpture of Hoshi. And the problem that I did is that I made the armature, and then I put the clay around the armature, and then I baked it so that it would harden, so that I wouldn't be able to change it. And then I realized that I didn't have the pose in place the way I wanted it to, because I did a really rough sketch, and it was kind of hard to figure out what I was doing. So, like, armature-wise, right? You have a wire, and then you have a wire for the hands, and then you cover this whole thing in clay. And then you're supposed to basically be able to, like, sculpt details on top of that, right? So that's, like, mostly how the armature situation works. And the problem that I did is that if you didn't perfect the pose, well, what are you gonna do now? This is, like, solidly in clay, so it can't move. And if the pose is wrong, then you're kind of stuck, and you might have to break it. You might have to snap it, and then, like, reconnect parts, except I used a really, really strong wire, much stronger than should have been for this project. And it kind of turned into, like, a problem. So, what I should have done, what I realize now that was not the right way to do this, that I'm learning, and if you ever do sculpture, this is a great tip. What you should do is you have your wire, right? You have your wire base that you use for the character. And then what you should do is you can always just cover this part in clay, because it's just like the core of the admin, unless you have the character leaning over or something. And then you cover this part, you cover this part, and do you see the difference? The difference is you let the joints not be covered in clay, so that you still get the idea of what your pose should be, and you can adjust it, and then you can add detail after you've figured out which way it should go. If you do it like this, you've now made it completely stuck. So the thing is, like, after you've got the right pose, then you can add the detail on top. But the issue is that if you do this, you're stuck, you can't make adjustments. If you do this, you can still move things around. You can move the arm around or whatever. And that is the way that you should be doing it if you're working with, like, a baking polymer clay type of deal. What? What is happening? Hang on a sec. Sitting in an art auction watching a fox planning out her art. Oh my gosh. Hello, Arknights. What? Must try? What? What? Must... what? What are you talking about? Want to help plan a prison break? You guys can't have a prison break. We're doing nothing? Vesa, do me a favor and keep an eye on various doors and exits and pathways. Smile and wave. How come half the time that... I feel like half of the community is constantly just telling me, don't worry about it. All doors lead to Kakutami. My gosh. I feel like so much of this is just don't worry about it, don't worry about it, don't worry about it, don't worry about it, don't worry about it. And I don't know what to think about that, frankly. Because you worry too much, duh. Just give him the Blu-ray compilation and Prison Break series, that'll say that. Hence, you should not worry about it. I feel like I always have to worry about it, though. And yet you keep worrying? Because it's never something to not worry about! It'll be like, don't worry about it, what's happening? I'm breaking into the Eiffel Tower. I don't know, I'm picking a random thing. Don't worry about it, what's happening? I'm trying to rob a bank. Don't worry about it, what's happening? We stole all the cheese. Like, it's never something small. Thankfully, I'm not on guard duty. Time for coffee break. You should think that you shouldn't worry. How do you break into the Eiffel Tower? It's up there. You could, like, control it. I don't know. You could control the lights or something. I don't know, Mr. Beast rented out the Eiffel Tower once, so, like, it would not shock me. Yeah, you could control the Eiffel Tower, make it, like, I don't know, flash different colors or something. Like a Gundam? That's not what I was thinking. I love how you guys have the exact same thought, though. Why is this so much like a Monday stream? Anyway. This is basically what you should do when you are doing sculpture things, and it's what I did not do. So that is the reason why the Hoshi piece is taking so long. So I am going to work on the Hoshi piece, I just have to sort of redo the entire armature. And I'm kind of tempted to try to use a different type of clay. But that goes into a different tangent. There's no Monday stream, now this is honorary Monday, fair enough. Terra emits strange signals that turn people into French if activated. My gosh. Yeah, basically, this basically is a Monday stream. But essentially, like, I normally work with a heavy clay that is very, very breakable, which is really great for detail. Really bad for a lot of other things. So now I'm kind of like, huh, I sort of want to try out a lightweight clay that I've never really gotten an experience to try out. And I'm curious about it. I want to try it. Never used it before. It might be really, really different from what I'm used to, but it also might make the work a lot faster. But it would be kind of a lot to do a really detailed figure with a material I'm not used to. So my thought process is that I would do a bunch of little things, just to try working with it and seeing how it works in comparison to what I'm used to. So that's when I was thinking, like, you know, maybe bean-related things would be fun to try out, because that's easy. That is really, really simple. The nice thing about this clay, and again, I've never used it before, but it should be coming in tomorrow, so I can experiment a little bit with it. From what I understand, it comes in a few different colors, but you can also add color with acrylic paint to sort of color it evenly. And I'm curious. So one thing I'm thinking I might try doing is like a little neon bean, because I got it in white, so I can just add a little bit of color to give like that beige, and then paint in maybe like red details or something. But I felt like that would be a really fast, easy project to start off with. Basically, I need to try to see if I like this material, or if I prefer the one that I've used for years. Because it's funny, right? I want to try using this material, that is, like, mainly only used in Asia, from what I can tell. It's used for, like, anime figures and doll design. The package is in Japanese. It's like not not something that they sell here. So I want to try it out, but I've never used it because the non-Japanese version of the product is usually considered really juvenile, bad quality, falls apart, and is really just given to preschoolers to have fun with. So I'm curious that there seems to be a really, really cheap kiddie version of this thing, and a really, really professional high-end version of this thing. So I've never used the professional high-end version, and I'm curious to see what is that going to be like. Beans are always a good option. Chibi Firewatch, no bias whatsoever. So if it goes well, Play-Doh versus work dough. Oh my gosh. Japan keeps all the good art stuff to themselves. It feels that way sometimes, it really does. I feel like it's been easier to obtain Japanese supplies, especially with, like, you know, Amazon and everything. That makes it really accessible. But it kind of scares me when there's material that you end up depending on, and it's, like, something that you have to import. Like, you can't just find it locally. It makes me nervous. It's like, well, what if they just discontinue whatever that thing is, you know? It makes me nervous, but I think it's worth trying a new medium if it also makes the work a lot faster. I mean, faster and slower, because I want to try seeing the difference between a polymer clay and an air dry clay. So the air dry clay takes multiple days to dry, but the polymer clay is not as malleable to get all the detail in. So you're kind of like playing different pros and cons. One of the major pros, however, is that I think the air dry clay is a lot tougher, so you could probably ship it without worrying about things falling apart and breaking, which could be very much a game changer. Because, like, there's like the little polymer clay that you make with, like, charms, and those are usually okay to ship, especially for people who coat them in like a resin or something, and then it kind of locks all the pieces together and prevents it from breaking. The air dry clay is a lot lighter and kind of has like a buoyancy to it, so it doesn't break as easily. And then the stuff I use, you look at it and that thing's gonna shatter. Do you have to glue the different types together, or how does combining the types work? I don't think you can combine a polymer clay with an air dry clay, at least not, like, malleable working. I think it would be like you would do something in air dry clay and then glue it to polymer clay. I don't think you can combine them together, necessarily. But if you mean piece to piece, polymer clay just sort of sticks to itself and you blend it. Air dry clay seems like it sticks to itself, and then if it takes too long, then you would glue it separately. I don't know, it's kind of strange. But I've never really gotten to explore that style of it. I've only worked with polymer clay most of the time. I work with a base gray most of the time, and then paint it after. And then, I'm talking so much about clay, and then all of that completely ignores, like 3D printing, which I'm also hoping to look at some point in this year. So it's crazy. There's so many different mediums for things, but basically, my deal is, hey, I really want to try to find a thing that I could, like, you know, sell on Etsy or something. Or be able to do on commission, or send to you guys or something like that. And I just want to do a lot more, like, hands-on stuff. So that's sort of where my head is going. I don't know. I could make, like, little charms of beans, and I could send them. Or I could make little charms of, like, you know, little slugs or something. Stuff like that. Beans, slugs, chibi versions of Firewatch, you name it. And then the more, like, the larger, more detailed stuff, those are more, like, high-end, I guess? Those are stuff that take a lot longer, but they're, like, very, very, very artisan. So I don't know, that's like... My brain is just running with so many different ideas. And I'm just sort of trying to parse them and figure out where I need to focus. You know? How do I pre-order? I think you'd probably want to see an example of my work first. I haven't done clay work in a long time, so I feel like I would still need to, like, show off. I need to do some pieces to actually show what the quality is, you know? I wonder if I do have any... have you guys seen my sculpture work before or no? I can't remember if I showed it off or not. I feel like I have. I feel like I'd be repeating myself, but I don't remember. Frankly, I don't actually remember if I... I don't even know where I have it, to be honest. I wonder if you, Royal You, not specifically, can mass-produce beans via, like, an ice cube tray or something similar. Well, like a mold? Like making your own mold, basically, right? If you do make clay work on stream, will you do hand cam streams? That's the thing, right? I'm really concerned about doing hand cam streams. So for the moment, I will probably do, pre-recorded. Maybe someday in the future I will get brave enough to do hand cam streams, but at the moment it would probably be pre-recorded just because I'm super, super nervous about that. And yes, I would probably, I'll have like full gloves and everything. And like you showed in Discord, you did show me the Crow and Raven? I did show you the Crow and Raven, that one's more crazy detailed. Let me see if I have that. Yes, the crow piece. I did show you the crow piece. I have other stuff, but there's so many different things here. Do whatever you feel most comfortable with. I'll probably do pre-recorded in the beginning, and you can ask Vessa. Even the pre-recorded is a really, really big deal for me. Pre-recorded has taken me about 3 years to mentally be okay doing. Can I resign all my industrial credentials for being unable to think of the word mold, please? Need to go die of shame in a corner now. No, it's okay. I thought that was funny, though. Like an ice cube tray. Let me see here what I have. Yeah, I have the crow somewhere. Let me think here. I should have these in their own folder. That would make my life a lot easier. Because I always forget where they are. Was it here? Nope. Definitely not there. Alright, that is one of them. Hang on. Alright. Unfortunately, I don't remember how to wire electronics. I used to know enough just to do one LED. I did this at one point. This was actually supposed to be an assignment where everyone else was doing illustration, and I wanted to make a sculpture of the assignment instead. And it's supposed to be the native tail of the rainbow crow. You create a mold in 3D modeling, then 3D print TPU to create a mold. That'll be interesting. It needs something flexible. Literally looks professional statue. Thank you. Yeah, this is more on the more, like, detailed, realistic end. But basically, story of the Rainbow Crow is that, you know, kind of a folktale thing, is that it was, dead of winter, and the animals were gonna freeze. So the crow went up to the sun god, and tried to take back a piece of the sun to keep the animals warm. And then as it was flying down with a piece of the sun, its feathers got all charred up and it ruined its voice. And that's why crows have black feathers and have the caw. And I don't know, I thought it was a really... I thought it was a really nice story of, like, you know, it's kind of this, tragic, beautiful story of sacrifice, right? And then that's, like, sort of the idea of why crows have black feathers with a little bit of iridescence. And why they have the croaky cawing sound that they do. So that was one of them. The other one... Oh, this one's kind of... Is this one okay to show or no? Hang on. So this one I actually sold to someone who I was not aware. How did this even happen? Somebody saw this at one point and they reached out to me and they asked if they could buy this because them and their husband really loved Edgar Allan Poe. And I'm trying to even remember what the storyline was now. But this was for, this was where we had to, again, illustrate another story. It had to be Edgar Allan Poe. So I ended up doing the gold bug. And this is what I came up with. So I don't know if anyone remembers the gold bug or has read it. But I remember there being all of these symbols with, like, a ring and bones. And the bug having, like, this skull design on it. Really cool story. Wonder how they explain why blue jays sound like death. I don't know. Hollow Knight Star collab. So I don't even remember where this was posted, but someone reached out and they said that, like, they, them and their husband loved Edgar Allan Poe. So I had to ship it to them, but I was so worried because of the little bug legs. They're so fragile. Thankfully, they had wire in them, so they had a little bit of structure, but I was still very, very nervous to ship this out. And those are the two that I know I have immediate access to. I don't know where the others would be right now. The others are probably much older. Is this one safe? Let me see if this one's safe. Yeah, okay, this one is, last one I'll show. This one was actually for a company that I kinda wish that I could still work for, but, I sort of got ghosted. Oh well. I would love to find another job like this where you just do the traditional work that gets resin cast and made into production. I didn't paint this. The company painted it, but I did the sculpture for it. That was one that I had done for a little, little offshoot company. Oh shoot, this is, oh yeah, I remember this. I originally had sculpted it, to work with oh, you guys would like this, hang on. So I had a different, it looks like it's really awkwardly posed, right? This makes me really sad. It looks like it's really awkwardly posed because it had a different meaning. What was supposed to happen, is that it was supposed to be cast with a little kitten on its tail, and when I mailed the sculpture, I think it arrived fine in the mail, and then they broke the kitten. And so the kitten never ended up getting cast with the dragon, but it was supposed to look like this. This was the original intent of the sculpture. So I'm sad it didn't work out, because I thought this was a really cute idea. This is the raw medium of what I work with. It's called Super Sculpey. And this is what this is the stuff I normally work with. But yeah, it was supposed to have a kitten on it, unfortunately. What to read doing? Good luck for them. I feel like I packed everything really, really well. And they told me that it broke because I packed it too well. It was a really strange company. It was a really, really strange company. I just have a lot of fun doing things in 3D. How many different grades of Sculpey are there? So, Super Sculpey is like the professional statue type one. And then Sculpey 3 and Primo and Fimo are like in the little 2-ounce packet things. And I used to think that that was sort of like the kitty version, but it's actually not. People are doing plenty of really professional stuff with that too. It's just that those are usually smaller because it's pre-colored, and people are usually doing like charms and stuff with that. Whereas this is not colored and you paint it afterwards. And it holds detail really, really well. I actually had that happen. I bought a model train from someone, and they used insane packaging and used a lot of foam. But yeah, I mean, so TLDR, like, Sculpey can break in shipping. So that's why I'm interested in trying out this air dry clay. That would be a lot less breakable. Or a different type that is now in the market is called Cos clay. And Cos clay is meant to bend after you bake it. Like, you can put a wire armature in it and have, like, you can have it posable after the fact, which is crazy. So that's another idea, of things that would be, like, not breaking constantly. My main thing is, like, I love doing 3D, but I'm so worried about how breakable everything is. So if I can find a bunch of solutions that are not breakable, the main goal here is to be able to ship out those things. So that if you wanted me to do something like, let's say, a Firewatch Chibi, just as an example, I would be able to safely do that. If only fondant worked that way. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Fondant is so hard to work with. I worked with fondant once, and I was like, I do clay. This will be easy. And then I was like, this is horrific. So I give you a lot of credit, Bewa. I give you a lot of credit. I've tried it once, and I'm like, I'm gonna be able to add so much detail. I'm like, I can't add any detail to this. Pioneer sculpting wrought iron, no more worries. Be like, yeah, shipping will be like $200. The foam was a little too tough. Instead of dampening, it transferred the vibrations to the model. What? The damages were minor. A wheel popped off the axle, and some detailed parts popped off, but you fixed them all. Well, it's good that you fixed them all. They did not fix the cat. The part I didn't get was like, if the cat broke, why didn't you just glue it back? Why do you have to remove the cat entirely? Because now it just looks like a silly dragon staring at its own tail. What Bewa can cook up is amazing. It absolutely is. If you guys have not seen Bewa's cake work, go into the Discord, go into the 3D section, and look for Bewa's forum section, because Bewa has the coolest cakes. Just finished a Pokemon one. It's absolutely adorable. You guys should check it out. Definitely check it out if you've not joined the Discord. Little segue to join the Discord if you have not yet, because we have very, very talented Stargazers here. But yeah, I want to get back into 3D. But the difference is I want to get back into 3D with a focus on Stargazers and Illusionari and with Arknights. On this main channel, it'll probably be pretty focused on Arknights. So, Hoshi, Neon Bean, stuff like that. I don't need to save any of these. Although I probably should have so they were easier to find, that's fine. I've seen them, they're very pretty. They're really nice. So, like, okay, I've seen some different things with sculpture. Especially recently, you know what's really popular right now in polymer clay? I don't think this would be an air dry project. I think you kind of need the weight of it. Air dry is very light clay, polymer clay is much heavier. But you know what I've seen that's really, really popular in polymer clay lately is, worry stones. We're gonna have Bean Day 2026, right? Bean Day? What is Bean Day? What would Bean Day entail? Oh, right! I did a stream of Bean Day! I forgot that I did a stream that I called Bean Day. So, let's see here. Yeah, there's like worry stones, so I thought maybe it would be interesting to have like a worry stone of a bean. Or, I told KLMX about this one. I think it'd be really funny to have like chopstick, like bean chopstick holder, right? Like, let me grab the reference for, oh, I don't have my references because everything shut down. Hang on. I have to go grab that folder again. Everything shut down and I lost all the references. There we go. Bean reference. So imagine you had like, if I was to do this correctly, right? Have like neon bean here. Have the tail. Maybe have them in like a little play pose or something. Make a little bit of a flat piece here. Hang on a sec. And then it's like bean chopstick holder. It's a bad mouth. Bean chopstick holder. Ekogen, hello, welcome in. I just got done, going over, like, a bunch of different sculptures I've made in the past. Because I was trying to articulate that I want to go back into working in 3D a little bit. And with 3D, I want Arknights to be a major part of that. So I'm trying to figure out where my focus needs to be for it. So one idea that I've sort of had that's been, like, bothering me is, like, really quick 3D idea is, like, a bean chopstick holder just seems so perfect, like, for the design, for the cute, especially because, like, they're from Yan, right? Like, it's just very fitting. It's very fitting thematically. It's very easy to sculpt. Their tail works perfectly to hold up chopsticks. And I just think that that would be, like, such a easy, doable piece, right? I think I'd also just mentioned worry stones. That could also be a fun one, right? Like, just, worry stone is just, like, a silly little stone that has, like, a little thumbprint shape. And it's just easy to... It's just, like, a sort of stress relief, anxiety thing. And I've seen a lot of people doing things like little bunny worry stone. So now you could have, like, again, bean worry stone. And I could change the eyes for that, too. And you could have, like, a little tail here. I don't know. I haven't really thought this one through very much. And then you can just pet the bean. Pet bean belly. Or you could flip it over. Have it the other way. Have, like... Have it this way. Pet bean back. Pet bean belly. You just, a little stone. A little stone for just... for relieving anxiety with beans. I've seen people do this with so many different animals. Like, I see people doing, like, little frogs, little kittens. And it's just like a little cat with like little cat ears and little dots, and then it's just like a little. You would basically just, you guys know what worry stones are, right? Some people don't know, I guess, but they're usually just made with like a little, they're usually made out of tumbled stones, and they usually don't have faces on them. They're usually just like little tumbled stones that you hold in your hand as like a little fidget, basically, right? Little anxiety, worry fidget. And lately, a lot of people have been turning them into animals, and I thought, it just looks so perfect for a bean. You know what worry stones are? Let me see if I can find a picture of worry stones to articulate it real quickly. Worry stones. So, normally... Well, that's plastic. That's not useful. Let me see if I can find a picture real quick. They're normally, like, either made of clay or tumbled glass or whatever. And they normally look like this. And they're just little flat shapes that you have your thumb on. But lately, a lot of people are making them look like, hang on a sec. A lot of people are turning them into little faces and cutesy things. A lot of people are making them look like these. So it's the same idea, right? So they're normally just like, they're normally just a tumbled stone. Like just a, like agate or citrine or whatever that's just tumbled to be really smooth and has like a little place for your thumb. Nowadays, a lot of people are making them out of clay and making them really cutesy. And, people just sort of like having them as like on their desk or in their pocket at school or stuff like that. Similar to counter beads that you'd use for a board game. Yeah, exactly. And then I was thinking, what's to stop us from turning them into beans? I really think that that bean chopstick holder makes a lot more sense thematically, but also just like, I don't know, bean worry stone. Beanify everything, yes. So I don't know if it would make more sense with, like, the back or the front, but it's like, you know, petting a puppy tummy. And it would be super, like, they have such an easy design. So you could just have, like, you know, a little bit of, like, little feet here, paint them red, have a little tail on the end. Probably have to make the horns really squished so that they wouldn't be worried about, like, breaking, because again, breakage is such a problem that you have to deal with. I feel like if I did the regular eyes, it would be a little too mischievous. Like, it looks like a cat that does not want to be pet, that is, like, ready to kill you. But you could just have, like, relaxed bean. I don't know. Either way works, I suppose, here. But I just wanted to try to figure out, like, some quick things to try out. So that was one. The other thing is I'm really inspired by, like... I really love the figure line that's, like, the dessert one. I've seen it around a little bit. The Arknights figure line that's dessert-based, and everything's, like, really, really simplified and really chibi. So I would like to do something like that, right? Where they have, like, little animal version. And they're really, really simple. I would like to do some stuff like that, too. Is it not? After all, it looks like Neon Bean. I don't know. Which way do you guys think that the eyes should go? Should you just go with, like, the eyes that people are used to, or... Do you guys like the relaxed eyes, or the regular eyes? Mischievous eyes. Almost forgot the little pieces here. There we go. hello, welcome in, welcome in. What's with the weird bodies on the left? I was trying to explain armatures. I was trying to explain armature, how I did it wrong the first time and how I need to sort of redo a project that I was working on. Because the first time I tried doing the armature, I covered the whole thing in clay, where the wire is, and then I got the pose wrong, and then it was stuck because it had already been baked. And then the second option is you make the wire, and then you put clay everywhere the joints are not. And then if you have to adjust the movement later, then you can. It depends on the bean, but yeah, Nian's mischievous. Nian must always be mischievous. Noted. Noted, noted. Alright, in that case, we gotta change it. It really does look like a cat that's just, like, inviting you to pet its belly and then is gonna scratch you. Are you done with Hoshi Clay? That is what I'm explaining. This is- okay. This is the Hoshi Clay delay. This is the reason for it. So basically, I made an armature. The pose was not right. I baked it. I should have done the pieces here and then be able to bend this the way it needed to go, and I didn't, and now I'm stuck, so I have to redo the armature. So this is the Hoshi Clay delay reason. I at least started getting the face going. It doesn't have her horn or hair or anything, so there's not much to show yet. And I tried filming for the first time, and I realized half the time, everything was out of frame, so it's a learning process, guys. It is something we are slowly learning how to improve in. I'm sort of trying to clean up my desk space for it. I don't do clay work near computer stuff because the dust is crazy. So I usually keep that separate. So I'm trying to make a space for all the clay work properly so that I can film things properly. But I keep doing it out of frame because I'm used to having things very, very close to my face. I'm not used to having things within a camera view. So it's gonna take a bit of practice. I think is the best way to say. It's just gonna take a bit of practice. But I do plan to finish it. It's just that it is a larger project, and I might want to try a few things that are a little simpler to sort of get the groove back. But yeah, I'm curious. Of these, which bean style do we like here? If I was to do, just for fun, right? If I was to try out, like, making a little bean worry stone. If I was, what do you guys, would like more? Film via GoPro then? Close to face and in camera will be the same? I don't know how to do that. What do you mean by that? Film via GoPro? Close to face and in camera would be the same? Because it's smaller? Is that what you mean? Because it's smaller? GoPro in head? What? You mean on? I'm gonna do a quick color. Because I can. But isn't it like... How does that even work to like hold that much footage? Because I was previously just using a phone, to be honest. And then it was connected with email, and then it said that I wasn't allowed to have email if I was gonna use that much. For some reason. Alright, let me see here. Make that tan. Here we go. This is like light purple. All right. Mount one for FPV shots? What? Camera, film what you see, but then it would be like, I'm not a chicken. It wouldn't work because I'd be moving around too much. You guys know about that, right? You know about the chickens? You can use chickens as camera mounts. You can use chickens as camera mounts because their heads don't move. So they're actually used a lot in like, well, I don't know if they're actually used, but it's just, I've seen people do it like as a test. You put a GoPro on a chicken, you get really, really, really still stable shots because their head doesn't move. And that's fine? It's not fine. You can't see what I'm doing if my head's constantly moving around. It's like first-person game type of look. What? Chicken, natural gyroscope. Exactly. No, it wouldn't work. I'd be moving around too much. Maybe if it was like... No, even if it was on my chest, that wouldn't be good. Because if I had to get up and do something, I don't want to film that part. I'm just trying to film just the desk. Don't worry about it. You can't keep pulling that on me. All right. Are we going for bean belly? Put a chicken on your head and the camera on the chicken. There you go. We're making this very convoluted now. I just have a, I think it's just a matter of getting used to it. I think I just haven't done this before, and I think it's just a matter of getting used to it. Wait, why is DAHO 1? What? I think it's just a matter of getting used to filming, because I haven't done this before. Like, guys, I've never filmed my process for anything before. Aside from digital time lapses, if that even counts. So I feel like it's just something I have to try and get used to. I forgot to color the hat. Bleh. Forgot to color the thing. There we go. The numbers aren't for popularity, but Illusionari's most wanted. What? Okay, so that's the thing. Like, what else? I thought of the bean thing. I know the Hoshi thing is gonna be also a thing. What other stuff would you guys want? Like, would you guys want to see things that were realistically portioned, chibi portioned, or like bean portioned? Even if they weren't actual beans. Even if they were just like, you know, really small. Like, what kind of things would you guys find the most interesting? DAHO 1 million, Illusionary Bucks bounty. The slugs? That might be interesting. It would not make a good worry stone, that's for sure. But like, maybe like a... What would that be good for? I don't remember what they look off the top of my head. I don't have a reference, so I'm just making it up as I go. I don't remember what they actually look like, so bear with me here. What about a W worry stone? I don't think that would have the intended effect. That's Pukumuku, not a slug. The first second was gonna be a sea bunny. I don't remember what they look off the top of my head, guys. Bean size at first for sure, so you actually definitely have time to do them. That's a fair point. Sea bunnies. It's a stone that makes you worry. Yes, exactly. But yeah, I'm just trying to think of, like, I don't know. I'm trying to think. This is where my this is where I get confused. I've never seen a worry stone of an anime character now that I think about it. I don't think they've ever... How would that even work? It would be kind of awkward, right? It's like you're just sort of working with... If it's not like an animal version, then it doesn't work nicely. I feel like they kind of have to be animals. Because otherwise, what are you gonna do? It doesn't work very well. So, can't really do a worry stone of a non-animal thing. I'm trying to think of, like, I'm trying to think of, like, merchandise that other gacha fandoms do, like Genshin and, Love and Deep Space, right? Like, looking at those types of things that are very, very merch-focused. What about a cow stone? What, like in cat form? Lads merch might be a little spicy. No, I just mean, like, how they make chibis about everything, you know? I just mean, like, I'm constantly seeing chibis of Love and Deep Space. I try to learn from what the other fandoms do, right? Because first of all, I can't do much research with Arknights without avoiding spoilers. And I can't really think of what variety there is. Funny enough, I did try very, very, very briefly. I'm learning how to do this safely. I looked up, like, you know, Arknights clay sculpture stuff, right? There's not a lot. There's really not a lot. Or maybe it's just because of the timing nowadays versus, like, a few years ago. But I tried looking it up. There were nearly no results, and when I looked it up, I was getting results for Genshin. I would either get results for Genshin, or generic fan art for Enfield. Like, generic non-sculpture fan art. I either got generic Enfield fan art, or I got Genshin results. But there was, like, nobody actually doing it. So I don't know if this is a thing where it's, like, the popularity is lower, so I don't see it immediately in searches. But that's the only thing I've looked up, is just sculpture stuff. Because I knew that sculpture stuff was gonna be pretty safe. Even so, my eyes squinted. Kitty Ross and Buddy Amia Stone be cute too? Alright, how would this look? Like, so if you had, like, a Cal one, right? Or if you had, like, Rosemontis, or... How would that even work? I'm running out of room. That's the thing, right? If the operators can be represented nicely by their animal, then it works. I don't know how Rosemontis looks. I guess if it was just green, right? Is there any, like, more clever way that I can do this? I'm trying to think. I don't have the references right here immediately, so I'm not really sure how I would do this. Something like this? Is this what you're kind of thinking? I don't remember Rosemontis' colors, I'm sorry. And obviously, I'm doing all this without looking at any references right now. So I'm just going off of what I remember. I was Gundam mentioned? I don't know. Where are you looking? Like this? That's the other thing, right? Like, even when it's like Genshin or 11 Deep Space or whatever, if they do like an animal version of the character, they'll always include like something that makes it stand. Oh! Yeah, like, for instance. Move you over here temporarily. You have to be careful, because, like, most people don't want they want to be able to use it as a worry stone, so you can't really, like, cover most things here. But, for example, if you do, like... then it's immediately clear, you know? Sometimes you can just do things that are, like, iconic enough with one item. Or one or two changes or something. I don't think there are too many Arknights figures. I found a Chen altar in Japan a while ago, and only others I've seen online were two of Scotty and Mudrock's Coral Coast skin. Are you said in Japan, are you referring to, like, Garage Kit? I don't need to pilot. No, that's not true. That's not what I'm saying at all. No, I was saying that I was making examples of when Stargazers tell me not to worry about something and it's always worth worrying about. And then one example I gave is you guys would, like, try to take over the Eiffel Tower. Get in the mech star chant? No, thank you. No, thank you. Myself and mech are, like, polar opposites. I'm surprised no one even commented on the Lappy one, but... Alright then. The Eiffel Tower is not a Gundam. Oh my gosh. I wish I had more references here, I don't at the moment. Get in the tower, we need some aesthetic photos at the top. I promise there will be minimal mech-assisted takeover of the Eiffel Tower. What do you mean by minimal? You do a Crown Slayer stone? How would that even work? She's got, like, a mask and a hood. How would that even work? I genuinely don't know how I would do that. I haven't given this super much thought yet in terms of logic. It was a figure shop everywhere. Everyone was already put together in display cases for purchase. My challenger didn't even have a box for it. Oof. Chibi Mifune? Why do you hate me? If it's a stone you throw into a well. I don't even know how that would work. Like I said, I don't know how to do, like, I have seen that worry stones are extremely popular, but I've not seen anybody tackle them with anime characters, and I feel like you kind of can't, because most of the stone needs to just be there to be used as a worry stone, and that's why most of them are animals. So they're just like tiny little additions to the worry stone, right? You're not adding like whole heads of anime hair on these things. What? Groundslayer painted on the bottom of the depression, so it looks like she's looking up at you from a hole. Fuck. Be like, wait, you're thinking you're like... Have anyone, like, made worry stones with full illustrations on them? Or would that, like, ruin the texture? I feel like that would probably ruin the texture, right? I don't remember what her thing looks like, I'm sorry. She's got, like... I've not seen her very often, so... Is this what you're thinking, though? Just have it, like, painted on? I'm surprised. Has anyone done illustrations on these things? Kevin coded. Would you not ruin the illustration by rubbing it? You'd probably put like a coat of resin on it, right? But my thing is that you would ruin the texture of it. Like, you wouldn't ruin the illustration, you put resin on it, but it wouldn't be smooth, and I think the reason people get worry stones is because they're perfectly smooth. They're either perfectly smooth or they- oh, right! Hang on a sec. Wait, this might make it easier. In terms of how to do. A lot of people are also doing worry stones that are like, they have texture, but in a way that it's like intentional for tactileness. These are basically fidget toys, right? These are basically fidget toys. So some people do like this kind of thing. So it's like, you can feel the tactileness of it. I don't know how many people like that though. Poor man's fidget toy. It's a rock. SpongeBob 2017. That's getting away from clay. You do one of the things where you encase a 2D picture in acrylic. Yeah, that's probably a little different, I think. But the idea of like a thing in the center is doable. It's usually pretty simple though. Usually like a simple shape or a few or whatever. These are lines and dots, so... I don't know if any of this is actually gonna work. I'm just sort of throwing things out there. And I don't even know if anyone would be interested, frankly. You know, it might go nowhere. I just thought the bean was funny. I do think that the bean chopstick holder is a winner, though. I would hope, anyway. Because it's just, it's perfect for Yanese dragons, right? Bean chopstick holder big brain. Thank you! I'm really happy with this one. This is the one I want to do. I want to do the bean chopstick holder. The worry stone I just realized is like a very popular thing right now, and I was like, huh, could you do an Arknights version of that? But I don't know if anyone would care or not. I also don't know like if people are still into that, if it's a dying thing, if it's still trending, if it's whatever. All I know is that, you know, it's it's worth attempting, and it's worth trying to see what you can do to make it different. Yeah, someone said Prism earlier, too. If I was to do a... Forget that this is a Thursday, because I think we've kind of thrown that out the window. Let me get rid of my Hoshi clay delay thing here, so we have more room to work in. I don't know how large you can make these without them being, like, super breakable. That's why most of these are, like, ladybugs and strawberries. Maybe, like, that? If it's, like... I don't know. Something like that, maybe? You could probably make simple cup noodle sitter designs. Oh. Those are usually really elaborate, though, aren't they? It's so hard to tell, like, what is something that I want to make versus what people actually want themselves. These things are literally just smooth rocks. Yes. Yes, they are. They're smooth rocks, and then it got popularized to make them into little cutesy things. And then people sell them as little cutesy things, and they're like little artisan desk toys, basically. Usually yes, but I think a bean leaning over the edge would be cute. Wouldn't that be really hard to keep in place, though? Like, weight distribution-wise? Because a typical ramen stopper usually has the legs over the character, so that you have most of the weight here, with the character's torso. And then I think most of the time they have their legs over the side so that most of the weight is still here. But if you had a bean leaning over, I don't know if that would I feel like the weight distribution wouldn't work, right? The head of the bean would be on top with the tail leaning off to the side. Oh, so maybe I'm just thinking like I thought you wanted it, like, clinging. Because if it's clinging, then it would be... Well, maybe. Would that stay? I feel like that wouldn't stay. You need to have most of the bean on the top. Yeah, it's a cute idea, but I don't know if it would, like... I don't know if it would stay. Probably depend on tail size, too. True. It's one of those things that you wouldn't be able to use it for, like, a disposable ramen cup. You would need to, like, have it as... It would be like something that you would attach to, like, a potted plant, right? Like, something you're not going to mess with. And something that has, like, maybe a lip on the edge. I remember that this was a thing that a lot of people did in clay before, is they would make something that had a picture like this, and they would just do, like, a generic cat. And it would be hanging off to the side like this. I remember this was a popular thing in the past. But, again, you'd have it over, like, a plant pot or something. Potted plant? Are we making Hasuke? I mean... that would be kind of funny. Like a little chibi Haruka. over a plant. Yeah, I think that ramen stoppers are generally, are generally something where you have the legs going over. That way, if Hasuke falls, it's lore accurate, not design flaw. My gosh. I don't know if the bean... Okay, I've never actually used a I've never actually used a ramen stopper because I don't get the cup ramen. It's supposed to make it so that it holds down the thing from peeling up, right? Like when it's in the microwave? Because that's the other thing, right? I don't know if you could throw this thing in the microwave. Or no, you don't put it in the microwave, you put it in after, because obviously a regular figure wouldn't be good for that either. So, but it's mainly just to keep the heat in, right? When you have, like, the plastic thing. Yeah, I said after, immediately after. I corrected myself in, like, 3 seconds. So, the thing is, like, how lightweight or heavy would the figure have to be to, like, I don't know, not fall through or something? Because I'm wondering, like, if that's the case, do they even need to have any part dangling over the edge, or is that just kind of the typical design people are used to? Because at that point, you could just use the, chopstick holder as one. I don't know. You could use an eraser or something if you wanted. Legs are optional. See, that's kind of what I was thinking, right? Like, the legs, I think, are just for the proportion looking nicer. Because you just have the ability to do it, and it just sort of makes sense visually to people. Like, in your head, you can kind of see it. But then that same figure also works on, like, a floating shelf. But an 11-inch figure on top of the ramen cup like it's a chair? Dang. I don't ever use the ramen cup, so I don't know how they, how the weight functions. But I don't know, like, if there was any sculptural type thing of, like, let's say your favorite operator, right? What would you be the most interested in? Like, what would be an interesting thing to you? Would she be like the cow one I sent you? I mean, yeah. Probably. So, the one you sent were, like, animal-based, animal-focused. The only merch you have is the bean plush, so you know. I'm not necessarily saying that you guys, like, would need to, like, be customers of this. I'm just trying to think in general, like, what would be fun? Nendroid Mini? I really love that dessert line. It's such a cute line. Super simple style, tiny cute. I have like a little Firewatch, but it's like an actual deer. Like a it'd probably be Sleepy Eyes. How do you do Sleepy Eyes? Gosh. I'm trying not to make it look angry. I'm not doing this well. Good enough. I think I really need to study whatever the Genshin people are doing, because I feel like Genshin just has already done a million of these. I don't know, maybe it has like a bow behind it or something. I don't know. Asling Master Study next Thursday. I just don't have a reference in front of me. Oh, wait, maybe I do. Do I? Do I? I do not. Genshin people need to be studied. Noted. Great, you're gonna take that out of context and get me in trouble. Oh wait, here's a fun one. Do a lot of silly things like this. It's amazing how you can make, like, everything so recognizable. Like, that's just really good character design. When you can simplify it down, you still know which character it is. Yeah, I think I need to see, like, what the Genshin people do for this stuff. But I don't know, like, little desk pet. Also, this one can hold your chopsticks too, it's perfect. I don't think everything needs to be a chopstick holder, it's just funny how the tail flipped up works well for that. Actually, wait, that might be really dark. I take it back. It only works if it's ramen. Don't use this with sushi. The options are either Scooty or Bloodborne Whale, and since this is an Arknights stream, I took a gamble. Fair enough. So basically, like, just cute little animal versions work well. What about little chibi version? What about, like, humanoid chibi? Like, I've seen a lot of people doing, like, really, really simple chibi, right? Like, let's see if I can do, like, a really simple, fast example here. Who do I have up here? I have no idea if you've ever had a figure made of you. But I'm using this as a quick example. It's really hard for me to simplify things. I'm still learning how to simplify. It's really hard to simplify, actually. How do I do this? I can't tell. Alright. Whatever. I'll just have to maybe add that in the back. And maybe the feathers. We need to make it a little less. Now it still has to be rounded because it's chibi. When I try to think of an AK chibi, I somehow always wind up with something that looks like Neko Arc. Oh my gosh. Let's see if I can... Does this work? Not easily. I don't know what your other arm looks like. It's probably the same. I just don't remember. Just doing that for continuity's sake, because I can't remember. I don't know. It's something, it would be so hard to do. Maybe, like, stuff like this? Like, really, really simple? Teeny, tiny little... I don't know. I guess those would have to be, like, semi-custom. But it would be, like, a good way to get, like, a good way to get, like, a fairly affordable custom, I would think. Because, like, I'm not gonna lie, guys. Most of my customs that I used to do, like the really detailed ones that I showed you on stream earlier, those were a few hundred. Like those were not cheap. Those were around 20, 30, upward of 50 hours each to complete those. So making simple, cute, silly things would probably be a good route to go. Unless I was doing, like, an extremely detailed figure for somebody who just gets no love. I did used to take these on commission. I did used to do, like, custom figure sculpting work. I would just always get so afraid of everything breaking. 10 out of 10, I would put one in my PC. What would be, like, a good size for that? I kind of made these look like Pokemon kid figures. I'm commissioning a 9-foot-tall Romanesque statue of Chen. I think I'd have to use something aside from Super Sculpey. Never sculpted in marble before, but hey, first time for everything, right? Never worked in stone carving. Imagine a reed bean. Terracotta Chen army. First time for everything, there you go. Solid marble reed bean. How large? Wait, why am I asking that? I already know the answer is gonna be bad. Large. Thanks. Very insightful. Big enough to crush someone? Big McLarge huge. I'd say about yay big. MG, did you notice I made like a little baby chibi of Kanta here? Honestly, a little Lapland wolf pup chibi would be so cute. That is very doable. Move over, Prism. Do I have a reference of... Yes, I do. Oh, that would actually be really cute. This is the stuff I see the Genshin people doing. It could either be like sitting or on all fours. I don't know. Either way. Get real fancy with the airbrush later on, too. I wish I could design toys. Designing toys has such a different meaning now, though, because everyone wants, like, electronic stuff, and it's like, I don't want to do electronic stuff, I just want to make collectibles. Collectibles are where it's at, man. Selling 1/7 Roman marble statues like they were anime figures would be really funny. I think someone's already done that. No worries, MG. I'm glad you like it, though. Can I commission you for a solid gold statue of silence? Alright, just have a good night. Thank you so much again. Thank you. I'm going to be doing a lot of work in the coming... I was gonna say months, but I don't know what I'm doing, so... Soonish, I'm going to be doing a lot of work. Thank you again. Thank you so much for the gifted. Can I commission you for a 1-to-1 scale replica of Aroma made entirely out of soap and water? I can't sculpt Bubble Buddy for you, I'm sorry. The little puppy Lapland is so cute, though. That would be fun. I don't know how to sculpt out of water. I'm not a waterbender. I know a little bit of earthbending, a little bit of firebending, a little bit of airbending. I don't know any waterbending. These would totally be doable. These would absolutely be doable. I'd have to get some practice in, but this is definitely a doable thing. Guess I'll have to keep my watermancing to myself. I can't make a solid gold silence, but I can make a figure of silence and then paint it gold, and we can all pretend. I could cover it in gold leaf. I actually have gold leaf. Ice sculpture? Oh my gosh. Have you tried ice sculpting? It's technically water. I have not tried doing an ice sculpture, no. 1/1 scale Patriot made out of Originium. That's probably not safe to sculpt and carve with. I'm worried about resin. I feel like if I'm worried about resin, everyone would have a lot to say about me trying to work with Originium. Make it out of brass and just tell THLPH it's gold, same thing. It's harmless? Really? Time to add a cool gas mask on the throne. I actually have a cool gas mask, that I'm terrified to use. Because I bought a gas mask thinking that I would attempt resin someday, and then I got too scared. You can never actually read the Rainbow Six event story, then you would know. Does it look like some Call of Duty Spec Ops Cold War mask? I don't know! It's just freaky, and I don't like wearing it. I don't like... Ugh. Frankly, if you think it's freaky looking, then it's probably cool. I mean, it's generic. It's very generic. But I don't like using it. So, I don't know. I'm so torn on, like, trying resin, and then I just hear about how people have ruined their lives with it, and it just holds me back from ever trying it. I don't know. But on the other hand, I could make, like, such smooth figures, and these chibis would look flawless. And I could print them in bulk, and I would be able to make little adjustments for, like, every operator without having to sculpt it differently every time, and it would be really great. But resin is horrific. You have too much bad luck to attempt a potentially life and health ruining thing. Time to move to filament. I mean, that's the thing, right? I keep looking at resin because of how smooth it is. I see. The thing that's really annoying is when you look at videos of people working with resin sculptures, right? They never show the process of using the 3D printer. They always just show it's printing, and then I am now painting it. They don't show, like, the 90% of hell that you have to go through to make it work. And it bothers me, because I look at those videos and I go, maybe it's actually not that bad. Maybe it's actually a lot easier than I thought. Maybe it's, and then I remember, no, they're actually just hiding 90% of the process. That would be boring content. I know, I get it, but, like, it also throws me off. So no. At some point, I'm going to try and figure out filament printing. It's not as smooth, clearly, but, you know, if I can sand things, if I can invest in good sanding, then it's worth it. But that also means that I have to spend time learning how to do digital sculpting. And right now, I'm kind of just trying to get back into sculpting in general, so I'm working with traditional physical clay for the moment. This from the lady that doesn't like to do line art on stream for the same reason. I get it! I get it, it's boring. It's a boring process. I'm just saying it visually throws me off how difficult the work is. It is messy and stinky. You're very right about that. It's horrible. There's already enough things that I have to use annoying masks for. I don't want to, like, double the amount of annoying things that I have to use a mask for. Main thing about resin is the precaution that you need to take, and a lot of cleaning up the mess afterward is annoying. Yeah. You only see the highlight reel, it looks easier than it is. Exactly! And it throws me off, because I keep thinking, maybe this wouldn't be too bad, and then I have to remember, it's still really bad. Stinky as in smell, or... Yes, what else would it be? So, at some point I'll learn to do it digitally, but right now, I kind of just need to... I need to knead, you know? I need to knead clay. I need to just work with my hands. And then I can try to learn it digital, because I just still do plan to learn working digital, but there's an element of pure handcraft that you can't really shake that I miss. Like, knowing that something has been 100% crafted by somebody directly. That it wasn't just, like, a model that was printed out and then, like, painted, but it's, like, 100% of it is unique to that one thing. I think that there's enough people that would appreciate that, right? PLA vapor smoothing I've looked into, it gets rid of a lot of detail, unfortunately. You've dealt with your fair share of resin. You can't 3D print such tiny models with filament. Haven't had much of an issue with it. I mean, that's good to hear. I'm glad you haven't. I'm too scared to do it. It's comes from someone who sniffs paint fumes, so I've probably got more brain damage than DAHO. Oh my gosh, Raul. Even in this day and age, people still love handmade things. See, I'm hoping that in this day and age, people kind of want to go back to handmade a little bit. Because of how much life has gotten so AI, right? I feel like because the more that tech gets pushed, the more people are gonna want to sort of go back to, like, intentional, handcraft artisan stuff. I don't know if that's true, but it is sort of a trendy forecast I keep hearing about. I don't know if people are just saying it and they don't actually act on it, or people are like, no, I actually am tired of this. Handmade has gained a lot of strength recently. You think? Even me going back to physical books instead of ebooks, same sort of principle. Hopefully it doesn't hurt VTubing. I don't know, there's still so many people who think that we're just AI. It drives me crazy. Neuro does not make that any easier. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, the handmade stuff you can't make in bulk, or if you do, it's just really exhausting. That's something I sometimes think about, right? Is like, I think about the people who do their little sculpture business, like little charms and stuff. And I think, like, how tiring would it have to be to basically put yourself on a conveyor belt? To be sculpting the same design over and over and over and over and over. Granted, they're small. Granted, they're like, you know, little bunnies and kitties and froggies and stuff like that. But if you're selling the designs, like, small and in bulk, does it get tiring to do, like, 50 of the same ones? Or do you just get in a rhythm with it? I don't really know. Personally, I mean, I usually only do one-offs, like you guys saw, the really detailed stuff. I haven't done multiples of much of anything. So it's kind of weird to think about. How do I get your skin? Yeah, exactly. I did want a custom silence figure a while back, but it fell through. So if you're making clay commission, I'll get a silence clay. I would definitely be open to that. What was I gonna say about that? Yeah, the main thing is I still need to learn how to ship things correctly. But that's why I'm curious about the air dry clay. I do want to, at some point, learn how to use, like, 3D printing for plastic for keeping things long-term, but for now, I see a lot of really well-done air-dry clay work. It sounds kind of like working on an assembly line, but having total creative control. That's pretty much it, right? You basically are on an assembly line, but, like, I see a lot of people and they'll do their work while, like, watching a movie or something, right? Like, they'll throw on Lord of the Rings, and it'll be like, okay, I'm gonna watch Lord of the Rings while making 50 bows for little bunnies. It would depend on if you change up the colors or not. Not really. It's not like you're 3D print extruding and it makes it take longer. You just sort of, like, grab a different block of clay. But yeah, I mean, at some point in the future, I would love to do a custom silence figure. That'll be interesting. That's something I'm always interested in, and I felt this way back when I was collecting a lot more Pokemon stuff. I don't collect Pokemon too much lately, but I used to collect a lot of Pokemon stuff. And one of my main things is I really, really hated merch that just used the stock image of the character. I'm okay with it when it comes to, like, the acrylics and Arknights, because that is something you can't have in any other form, right? It's just, like, it's either it's either in the game itself or you have the nice key art in a nice acrylic. But when it comes to like a Pokemon, and it's just like the art, like let's say for a poster or a card or a keychain or whatever, it's just like their stock Pokedex image. That always drives me crazy, because once you have one of that thing, you don't need another. See, with the Arknights acrylic, there's only the one, right? It's only the one image. But then, what if all of the artwork that you could get as merchandise for Arknights was always just that one single key art image? That's how it felt so much like with Pokemon. So I would look at like figures, and I would constantly ignore the basic ones that they sell from like Jazzwares or something, because it's always just the standing character. And I would always go for the ones that were made by like Rement. And Rement does series where the figures are a lot more dynamic and action-based, and they have little attacks flying through the figure or whatever. Yes, the exact same Charizard pose for the past 22 years. I will order all of them. Exactly! Exactly! You know exactly the one, right? Like with his head to the side, blowing fire with the side profile view. It's like, we've done it so much, we made it into the plush, we made it into like 5 different figures, we use that exact same image on every freaking card and sticker, and I'm tired of it! I barely know Pokemon and I know that image. See, that's a problem. So my thing is like, if I make a custom thing, I want it to be a custom thing that is really, really different from what is currently existing to purchase, right? So like, Bean Chopstick Holder, that's really different. Lapland Wolf Chibi, I have not seen it yet, maybe it exists, I haven't seen it. If I was to do like a custom Silence thing, I would want to either have her like posed in a way or acting a certain way or whatever, or like wearing different outfits or whatnot. That's just very, very different from all the other existing official Silence stuff. So that's kind of like, that's my goal with this, is like, if I'm gonna be making a custom thing, let me at least make it worth your while. I don't want the same Charizard from 22 years ago. Or something that just doesn't exist, like a Neural figure. Exactly! Or like a Kanta figure. I don't know if there's an official Kanta figure. I assume 5 stars do not get as much love on merch. But that's kind of the main thing, right? Let me give love to the characters that don't get love. We need Cicero merch. That would be cute, yeah, there you go. Cicero would make a really cute chibi figure. Like, not this figure, where it's like 2 inches, but like, a nice, like, 3-4 inch mini, you know? And that's the other thing. I never want to make a, I never want to make a figure that is just the figurine version of official artwork, right? Because I was just thinking, like, oh, I would, you know, maybe I would do, like, the outfit where she has, like, the casual clothes on. I'm like, no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to make a figurine that's just based on existing artwork. Take advantage of making something different. One big figure that's a pile of all the Lupo chibis. Just a little cuddle pile of Lupo. That was what my original Silence figure was gonna be? What, just like based on the artwork? The E1 art? No, you can do better than that! You can do better than the E1 artwork. No, if you're gonna order a custom, make it wild, make it fun. Like that, to be fair, the more wild and fun you make something, the higher end and more expensive it's gonna be, right? Like if I have to make artwork of, say, let's say if I was to make art of, Reed's E2, Reed Alter E2, right? That would end up being very expensive. Because then it would be like, you would have the crazy outfit, you'd have the crazy pose, you'd also have a crazy dragon. So the more intense you get, the higher price it's gonna be. But if you're gonna have something simple, then at least go for a different pose. At least just make the character feel a little bit different. Break from the regular artwork and do something where, maybe it's just that some people don't normally do this? I've heard this a lot before, regardless of it being 2D or 3D. Hang on a sec. What? Alright, anyway. What was I saying? Sorry, the Twitch bot distracted me. I've completely lost my train of thought. I know I was talking about figure differentiation, but I lost the sentence I was working on because of the stupid bot. Stupid Twitch bot. Okay. Tell me if you've seen this before. I have heard, and I haven't seen too much of this example myself, but I have heard that there's a lot of artists that people commission, and they'll give you a reference of their OC, and then basically the artist will just sort of like spit back the artwork from the reference back at the buyer. Like, it's just like a one-to-one. They didn't add anything different or special or unique to it. And that's apparently a thing. I don't really know. I haven't seen too much of that directly, but I've heard that that can be a problem. So I don't know if it's the same way with figures. Like, if you're ordering a really expensive multi-$100 figure, are you just gonna get a figure that's just like a 3D version of standing character 2D art? Or are you going to get something where the sculptor sketches out a more unique way to display the character in a way that lends itself to the fact that it's 3D, right? No official VV figure yet, except parts of a chibi series and some garage kits. Criminal. Oh, man. I feel like VV is such a complex design, but so nice if done right. But yeah, I mean, like, I think there's some sculptors who don't draw, and vice versa, people who draw who don't sculpt. But if I do custom stuff, I like to give sketches. I like to give sketches and be like, hey, this is what I'm planning to sculpt, and it's supposed to eventually look like this, and I want to add this and that to it to make it more dynamic and interesting. I don't know, maybe that's unusual? I don't know if it is or not, but I think that if you're going to invest in a custom thing, then you should be able to go beyond, unless you specifically want the regular art, unless you're like, no, I intentionally want this to be a one-to-one, I just need it in 3D. Then that's fine. But I feel like if you have the option to make it more interesting, then why not take it, right? At the very least, like, make it more, I don't know, like, I'm looking at the E1 of Aroma right now, right? Where she just has, like, the bubble wand flipped down, and she's holding the beaker, and she has the little cart behind her. If I was doing a sculpture of Aroma, I would have her jumping up in the air, holding the bubble wand as if she had just moved it, and then I would find a way to, like, make, I don't know, translucent clay bubbles that sort of go around the whole thing and spiral around it. It would be really intense and really expensive, but it would be such a better showcase of the character. You know what I mean? If you're already going to make the character that is, like, if you're already going for realistic proportions, which already drives up the price, then just pose it differently to add more depth and originality. Oh my god, you guys. I don't know, does that make sense? That's just how I see it. And I do think that the chibis have a place. And I used to try to make everything super complicated. And then Vesa once introduced me to the concept of the burger versus the steak. And I'm still learning that. So for me, like this little clay chibi here, it would probably be like, you know, 50 versus 500, burger versus steak. Wouldn't drop hundreds of dollars on something that just looks like normal key art in a ref sheet. Exactly. So, yeah, I'm learning about burger versus steak in 2D art, because Vesa would be like, you know, sometimes people just want things that are simple, and sometimes people want things that are really complex. And I would always try to make the simple thing really complex. He's like, no, just keep it simple. Sometimes people just want a hamburger. They don't want to buy a steak. It's something I'm still learning. But this whole little chibi thing, as opposed to the dragon or the crow or the bug that I showed you guys, that is the chibi versus the hamburger versus the steak. Of course, since I'm me, I explained it with burger metaphor. Exactly. If you were commissioning a figure, you'd probably provide some form of pose reference. Yeah, that makes sense. If the client provides it, or if the artist just, like, goes out of their way to make something more interesting. Like, for me, I have an entire Pinterest board that is just filled with figures where they push the dynamism. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I hate still figures. I hate figures that are, like, just one step away from being in A pose. I don't like most basic, affordable anime figures, and I know that they're affordable because they're in a basic pose and everything, I totally get that. But, like, it just seems like such a waste of a figure to begin with. It's just such a waste of an opportunity. So I like the ones that go crazy. And it's funny, because I actually don't really... I was trying to work on Hoshi, and I brought down some of my own figures for reference to figure out proportions and everything, because it's very different. And I actually don't really have... I was looking at this, I was like, oh, I only have 4 figures that are of humans. All the others are animals or Pokemon. I only have 4 that are human. I have, I have a realistically proportioned, Mori Calliope from Thank You Again, Siam Zero. And it was going to be Nendroid, but, the Nendroid ended up being out of stock, and I'm like, you know what? Mori Calliope looks really, really good in full proportion. And I can find it for the same price, so this is perfect. So, a beautiful, beautiful, fully proportioned Mori Calliope. A basic Madoka, which is probably my most boring figure. Frost Nova Nendroid. And a tiny, teeny tiny, weird 2-inch chibi of, Asuna and Kirito. That's it. Those are all the human figures I have, and I'm like, this can't be it. But no, I've just been so obsessed with animals and Pokemon for so long that I just, like, never really focused in that area. So then when I was trying to sculpt Hoshi, I was like, I don't have a lot of examples to work with here. But even though Callie is just a simple, standing figure, she looks so beautifully more dynamic than the Madoka figure. Because the Madoka figure just sort of has, like, a cute little magical girl pose, and I think she just has, like, her arms up, and she's smiling, and she's just, like, standing still. Maybe she has one leg up or something. And then the Mori Calliope pose, she's still just standing. But because she has that whole Grim Reaper outfit, the flowing black outfit, and because she has really long hair, it wraps around the space of the figure, it twirls around, it has a lot of flow, it has a lot of movement, and it looks so much more dynamic than the Madoka one. Should have made Hoshi a Rhyhorn. There you go. Hmm? Maybe it's the Land of Before Time discussion from yesterday. I misheard you as Pinterest board just of figures where they push the dino. No, dynamism. I got an idea. Why don't you add some human figures to your throne? I think I've added enough things to my throne lately. I think the throne needs a break. I'm weird and almost exclusively collect plushies. There's nothing weird about that. I just got a silly little custom Laplin plush and one of a spoiler character. The Laplin sounds really cute. Once a week star, once a week TikTok. Oh, God. throat needs a refill. It does not. No. No, it does not. God, I feel so weird about adding so many things to the throne. Every week you don't add something to forbidden clip gets leaked. Ah! Ugh. One day you'll buy the official Lapland plush once you can get it in the US without tariffs. It would be great if Yostar would take off that $100 fee that literally no one else is doing. Ugh. Show us your suggestions, we'll tell you which to actually add. Guys, are you aware that I'm at like over 100 suggestions? And the majority are cheese? Some of you guys still add cheese, and it drives me crazy. Cause like, I'll just be going about my day, and I'll get an email being like, you got a new suggestion. And I'm like, it's like Wednesday at 6:25. There's been no stream, there's been no discussion. Who is still remembering this thing? Oh. Suggestion review stream, oh god. After all their quality control issues at this point, I think Yostar just doesn't know how to remove the fee. It wouldn't. Oh yeah! That reminds me. Thanks for reminding me, Vessa. You know how, guys, remember how I asked for a replacement for the Volume 2 art book because the first one came damaged? Would you believe me if I told you that I got the replacement in this week? And the replacement came in more damaged. It was actually really impressive. It was impressive. It was more damage than the first time. It was just, honestly, I'm like, you know, okay, at some point, I'm just gonna email you guys back, and I'm not gonna say to send me a third one, because that'll be ridiculous. But I am going to send you an email, and I'm going to tell you to up your quality control, because, oh my god. I did not just send the first one back, no, so I'm kind of holding the second as like a, well, now if it gets dirty, I don't care. Replacement? Replace this, Yostar. So they sent a replacement, but it's like, you know how it has, for anyone else who has the art book, you know how it has that, like, plastic cover on it? The plastic cover came in, like, the corner was, like, shattered. You should take super meticulous pictures of it and email it to them and post on Twitter and tag them. See, right now, I'm not going to do anything Yostar related until after this contest is over, because I refuse to jinx myself. But after this contest is over, I'm gonna send them an email, and I'm gonna be like, please get your quality control under control. Stuff should not be coming in consistently bad at those prices with those fees. You wanna know why it comes in bad? Because the EN version of the book doesn't come in that nice white box that everybody else got. Japan gets the nice protected box, China gets the nice protected box. EN does not get the nice protected box, and that's why they come damaged. Not to mention the issues on both of our lore books. Not just both of ours, KLMX, everyone's. Every single person who ordered a lore book. If people are thinking about you at Wednesday at 6:26 p.m., that's pretty great. You have staying power. I don't know why. Why are you guys still thinking about cheese suggestions? Maybe part of their quality control process is to scratch it. Maybe it's like that one photo they forgot to include in the box. Exactly, yeah, exactly. I don't know. It's like you made something that was like plastic, hard plastic, and then shipped it in a little manila envelope, and then didn't expect it to get smashed to bits. So at first I was thinking like, oh, you know what? I'll just take the plastic of one book and put it over the other book, and then have the clean book underneath. But no! The plastic got shattered because the actual corner of the book got shattered. The whole top corner is just like chewed and shattered. Like, it came in worse. It actually came in worse. I can't take parts of it and swap them around. It's just plain worse. Oh, and you remember how my first problem was that the lettering was off-center from the embossing? It's still off-center. The lettering was still off-center from the embossing. There was like... The quality control is so bad. It's amazingly strong. Amazingly bad. Did they go through newbie first? It feels like it. Mad you didn't show the cool cheese t-shirt secretly sent in the server. My gosh. Yeah, I'll have to show that at some point. Goodness. What the heck? We've actually been streaming longer than I thought I'd survive. I'm surprised by that, actually. Well, granted, we had a little bit of a hiccup earlier. DAHO. But, yeah, wow. I had to say it because I don't want anyone to think I'm talking bad about them, but they get away with the bad QA because people keep buying their stuff, sadly. I mean, I 100% agree with you because it's like Pokemon, right? It's basically just like Pokemon. And it's like, we buy their stuff because no one else is making it, and we love what Hypergriff is doing, but not what Yostar. See, at least, like, we like Hypergriff, and we love the characters and their stories, so we want to support with merch, but then Yostar ruins the merch. But Pokemon is like, if Pokemon is messing up, they are the distributor and the mark and the product and the game and they're the everything. So what do you do there? Pokemon, meanwhile, has great merch. Pokemon doesn't know how to handle their merch. Great merch, but awful games. Yeah, true. Pokemon is like, we don't need to make money off of the games anymore. We get all the money from the merch. If you don't buy the merch, they go, well, this isn't selling, might as well stop making it. So heck if you do, heck if you don't. Yeah, because Yostar will just be like, okay, I guess we'll just focus on Blue Archive then. And then you're like, wait, no, don't do that! Thanks, Stupid Zebra, for being a fellow Twitch bot. Really, really necessary here. Is the Blue Archive merch also scuffed? I don't know, actually. That's a really good question. I don't know. Maybe there's favoritism. I have no idea. No, I think I've gone onto the Yostar shop Twitter, and I've seen the Blue Archive people complaining about stuff, too. So I really don't know what it is. I'm pretty sure it's also scuffed, yeah. It's just like, my thing is, if you're gonna make a product, why do you make it different between regions, right? Like, why does the art book have to come in, like, a really nice, beautiful box versus a flimsy little cardboard thing? And then you wonder why you get damage. I think Yostar just hates everyone, to be honest. Fair. I'm still gonna, I don't know. Hey, you know, at least they let me, they did get back to me with a replacement, so I can't fault them too much. They didn't make me send it back. The replacement came really damaged, but at least I can use it. The nice thing is that if the replacement is really damaged, I don't have to worry about it, and I didn't have to send the first one back, then I can have the replacement one next to all the clay stuff as, like, a reference guide, not have to worry about getting it dirty. Not gonna cut it up like a scrapbook, but, like, you know, won't have to worry as much. Ugh. But anyway, I still don't really know what I'm doing with the clay stuff. I just keep coming up with ideas, but I don't really know how to corral them. But regardless, it has gotten a little bit later, so I think we're probably gonna wrap up here. Use the replacement as a projectile for people who don't believe in the cheese. What? Okay then. Terra fees just to cover the replacement. They're inevitably going to need to send you. Oh, that's probably really accurate. Alright, alright. I will see you guys all later. I believe that Saturday we are going to be doing a little bit of a rundown of final operator records before the event. So we shall go through those. Those should be fun. We have some fun operators to get through. We want more literature. Oh goodness. But yeah, with that being said, have a fantastic rest of your day, evening, or night. Definitely consider subscribing on YouTube or following on Twitch if you haven't yet. Consider joining our funky little Discord, where everything is crazy and wild. And well, I wish you all the best. Have a fantastic rest of your day, evening, or night. And thank you so much, Stargazers. Have a great rest of your day.